Morning, morning. Am I audible? Am I audible? So, in the last class, I started this verbal ability, or you can say comprehension, right? And I have told you uh, how to attempt these comprehension question. And in the last class, I talked about short passage or argument type passage are there. Then how to solve those questions, right? And uh, and I have given you the four-step approach to solve the question. The first step was, again, I'm repeating, that is, know the argument structure. Where is conclusion? Where is the claim? Where is the premise? Where is the counter premise? Where is the background? Like that. Okay. Then second step is see the question. See the question. See the question. And third Third step is set the goal, means what you have to find in the options. And fourth step was work from wrong to right, means eliminate the wrong option, get the right option. Siddharth, but you didn't attend the live class and now you are looking for recorded class. It takes 24 hours to get the recorded class uploaded on the app, right? So wait, right? Now today what we'll do different type of question including previous year question, right? And I have told you two type of questions: assumption family question, evidence family question. I have talked about, right? Okay, so now I am giving you questions to attempt. Now I am giving you question to attempt, right? Now I am giving question to attempt. So attempt the questions, and the question is this one. Tell me what is the answer. The steps you have to follow. The steps you have to follow. Okay, volume is okay, I think. Voice is okay. Okay, I am telling the technical guy, Anju. I think my voice is okay. Right? My voice is okay. तुक्का नहीं लगाना है, जैसे मैंने बताया है वैसे ही करना है. कि तुक्का मत लगाओ. And I have given you all the technique, technology to solve such type of question. Okay, Rakesh, Divyans Verma, Abhishek Singh, Harshita, Muskan, Varun, noted. I want all of you to answer this question. It's just like an argument, short passage, or you can say part of a paragraph. It is given. I'm seeing your answer. I'm seeing your answer. No, Akash Gupta. No. I have explained that. Watch the recorded lecture. Okay, now I am telling you the answer. See, two answers generally I have received. One is A and other is C. Right? To see what is the answer. Methyl tetrachloride, like that is MTC, is a chemical found in some pesticide, right? Glue and sealants. Okay, exposure to MTC can cause people to develop asthma. Exposure to MTC. In order to halve the nation's asthma rate, the government plans to ban all product containing MTC. Right. So the first line I can say that is background. MTC is a chemical found in pesticide, glue and seal. Second is premise. Right. Exposure to MTC can cause people to develop asthma, and this is the plan of government. In order to halve the nation's asthma rate, the government plan to ban all products containing. Okay. The government plan to halve nation's asthma rate relies on which of the following assumptions? So what government assume? Government assume that by banning MTC, government can halve the nation's asthma rate. Government assumes that. That is the assumption of the government, right? So now you can see exposure to MTC is responsible for no less than half of the nation's asthma rate. Chance it could be an answer. Next, B. Product containing MTC are not necessary to the prosperity of the American economy. This is out of the scope option. It has no relevance with the question as well as the argument. Right? I have told you yesterday. So B is not there. Asthma has reached epidemic proportion. That's why government is planning. That's why government is planning to ban this. But that is not the assumption. This may be the cause for government plan. This is not the assumption of the government. So this is not the answer. Exercise and proper nutrition. Again, this is out of scope. This is out of a scope. Right? So D is not the answer. So obviously A is the right answer. Asthma has reached epidemic proportion. Might be true. That's why government is planning to ban, because government wants to halve the nation's asthma rate. Government wants to slow the nation's asthma rate. But for that, why government is banning MTC? Because government assume that exposure to MTC can cause not less than half the uh, not less than half of the nation's asthma case. So A is the right answer. And no, Chris Kumar, this is right. This is right. Half is there. Half is there. No, no misprint. No misprint. एमटीसी को बैन करके सॉल्व गवर्नमेंट कैसे कर देगा? Divyan Sharma, you attended last class. Problem is that people don't attend live classes, right? And Divyan Sharma is asking what is claim and what is premise. Already I have explained everything yesterday. Yes, then why you are asking claim and premise same thing? Claim is what? तुम कुछ claim करते हो तो उसको prove करोगे ना? Prove करने के लिए क्या दोगे? Evidence. Evidence is premise. Claim is not premise. Okay. Now see this question. Now see this question. Again, I am repeating in flaw question what we find in the option. That option is correct, which is tied to, which is related to some assumption of the author, and that option will highlight the weak thing in assumption. That wrong thing is true, then conclusion will be weakened or conclusion will be violated. You have to find that option which will highlight the flaw in the assumption. अरे आकांक्षा धीर कंक्लूजन को सपोर्ट करने के लिए प्रेमाइस होता है और एजम्पशन होता है। एजम्पशन नहीं लिखा होता है, एजम्पशन एज्यूम करता है ऑथर। अब प्रेमाइसेज प्लस एजम्पशन इक्वल टू कंक्लूजन। आपको एजम्पशन ही गलत है तो कंक्लूजन गड़बड़ हो जाएगा ना। तो वो जो गलत है एजम्पशन, वो गलत वाला चीज ऑप्शन में दिया रहता है, वही आंसर होता है, वही फ्लॉ है। अभी नहीं समझ में आया? जैसे ये कंक्लूजन का एक छत है, टॉप है, उसके नीचे ये पिलर लगे हुए हैं, तो प्रेमाइसेज के पिलर है और एजम्पशन के पिलर है ना। और ऊपर वाला कंक्लूजन है या क्लेम है। अब मान लो कोई एजम्पशन जो ऑथर ने एज्यूम किया है वही गलत है, तो ये इसका एक पैर टूट गया ना, तो ये कंक्लूजन तो कमजोर हो जाएगा, वीक हो जाएगा। तो यू इन द ऑप्शन दिस इज गिवन, इस देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम विद दिस एजम्पशन। अभी भी दिक्कत है? स्टिल यू आर फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम? कांचा धीर। I am seeing your answer. I am seeing your answer. I have given you the steps to solve such question. का ना लगाएं, बहुत लोग बस आंख मूंद के ही आंसर करते हैं। I have given you enough things to solve such question. And I am giving you enough time to solve this question. And in answer, I am getting all the options. The answers, I am getting all the options. Again think. Okay, now I am telling you the answer. Now I am telling you the answer. What is the question? Which of the following best explain why the consultant's reasoning is flawed? Means we have to find the flaw in the reasoning of consultant. The studies show that impoverished family give away a larger percentage of their income in charitable donation, right, than do wealthy family, right? And As a result, fundraising consultant, as a result, fundraising consultant recommend that charity direct their marketing effort towards individual and family from lower socio-economic classes in order to maximize the dollar value of incoming donation. So the first sentence is what? Premise, support. On the basis of that, fundraising consultant suggested that चैरिटी जो है अपना मार्केटिंग एफर्ट्स कहाँ लगा दे? लोअर सोशियो इकोनॉमिक क्लासेस के फैमिली और इंडिविजुअल के टुवर्ड्स। क्यों? क्योंकि वो लार्जर परसेंटेज देते हैं अपने इनकम का, उससे क्या होगा? तो डॉलर वैल्यू इनकमिंग डोनेशन का मैक्सिमाइज होगा। Where is the problem? Where is the problem? In the consultant recommendation. Consultant think that larger percentage of income means larger dollar value. That is the reasoning of consultant. That is the thinking of consultant. Now, one poor family, suppose, and just I am giving you one example, and one rich family. Just I am giving you one example. Poor family has income. Suppose, uh, suppose $10,000 per annum. $10,000 per annum. And rich family has $1 lakh per annum. Poor family gives 10% of their income in donation. 10% of 10,000 is 1,000. And this is a donation. And this rich family gives, suppose, 2% of their income for donation. This is 2,000. So obviously, mere percentage will not give the more dollar value in donation. So there, 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 uh, reasoning of the consultant is flawed. Their reasoning of the consultant is flawed, right? So now you can see the options. Marketing effects are only one way to solicit charitable no, only not justified. Not all impoverished family donate to. No, this is not the flaw. Some charitable marketing efforts are so expensive that the resulting donation fail to cover the cost of the marketing cover, right? So again, this is not there. They are asking for flaw in the consultant reasoning. No. Now, obviously, this is the answer. Percentage of income is not necessarily indicative of absolute dollar value. Can you think of? This is the answer. ये कौन है? भानु। इतनी खराब गणित है तुम्हारी भाई। इतनी खराब गणित है। 1 लाख का 2% 200 होता है। ये नहीं बन पा रहा है तो क्या तुम गणित बनाओगे यूपीएससी में और प्रीलिम्स में? Got it? So this is the answer. Tell me, what is the answer? गुड्डू कुमार, तुम भी कल लाइव क्लास नहीं देखा है, ये लग रहा है तो परेशान चल रहे हैं कि फर्स्ट लेक्चर नहीं चल रहा है, क्योंकि लाइव क्लास अटेंड नहीं किया। मोर देन बिजी तुम लोग आदमी हो, काफी व्यस्त रहते हो, इतना जो पढ़ना है। अरे भाई, अभी तक नहीं पता चला 24 घंटे के बाद लेक्चर आता है रिकॉर्डेड। नाउ फर्स्ट, व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? Which of the following, if true, is most likely an explanation for the discrepancy described above? So this question is from evidence family. Evidence family means this argument consists of only premises. Only premises means this argument consists of only premises, because this question is from evidence family, and I have told you, for evidence family questions, in the argument, in the passage, only premises are given. So first of all, you have to find the discrepancy. You have to find the discrepancy. Then you will find the option which will explain that discrepancy. Puzzling part क्या लग रहा है? What is the confusing part in the argument? And to explain that, you have to find option. I have told you this yesterday. Take some time to solve the question. Okay, now I am telling you the answer, because all the options you people are giving, A, B, C, D, all the options are coming. See, nitrogen triiodide is a highly explosive chemical that is easy to make from only two ingredients, and that ingredients is ammonia and concentrated iodine. However, however, nitrogen triiodide has never been known to be used in a terrorist or criminal attack. So puzzling part is this, discrepancy is this, that nitrogen triiodide is highly explosive, number one, very easy to make, only two ingredients are used. Still, this terrorist or criminal are not using even once. So, 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 what is the right option to explain this? Why they are not using? A. Nitrogen triiodide is extremely shock sensitive and can detonate as a result of even slight movement. Means नाइट्रोजन ट्राइऑडाइड जो है, हल्का भी अगर वो शॉक सेंसिटिव, मतलब क्या, हल्का भी हिलेगा तो वो फट जाएगा। तो जो टेररिस्ट यूज करेगा वो खुद ही मर जाएगा, उसको कैरी करेगा, कहीं ले ही जाएगा, थोड़ा मूवमेंट होगा तो वो डिटोनेट कर जाएगा, राइट? एंड सो देयर इज अ चांस ऑफ दिस, ये आंसर हो सकता है, कुड बी आंसर. Next, B. Nitrogen triiodide is only one of several powerful explosives that can be made from ammonia. Might be true in the real world, but why they are not using even once, it does not explain. So B is not the answer. Many terrorists and criminals have used other chemical explosives such as TNT or PTN. Might be true, but it does not explain the discrepancy. Puzzling part there. D. Airport security devices are typically calibrated to detect nitrogen compounds such as ammonia and ammonia. Might be true in the real world, but it doesn't answer. मान लो एयरपोर्ट पे नहीं यूज हुआ, कहीं और यूज हो जाता है. Has never been known to be used, right? So obviously D is not the answer. So what is the answer? A. A explains. A explains the puzzling part discrepancy in the argument above. Okay, right? Clear? Am I clear? ऐसे करते हैं तो मेरे साथ कुछ प्रैक्टिस कर लोगे तुम लोग, काफी कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाओगे पैसेज में। जैसे जैसे मैं कह रहा हूँ वैसे, नहीं तो आंख मूंद के दोगे एग्जाम में, ऑप्शन टिक करोगे एंड दैट विल बी रॉन्ग, दैट विल बी रॉन्ग, राइट? सो quite technical. Solving passage is also a science. Only condition is that should be able to understand the passage. आपको vocabulary ठीक ठाक होना चाहिए, reading skill होना चाहिए, समझने आना चाहिए, comprehend करने आना चाहिए. Then you can easily, if you have technology, technique, then you can easily solve the question. I'm not saying you will solve all the question, but if you attempt 10, 8 will be correct or 9 will be correct. So this is subjective. I cannot say 10 out of 10. But 8 or 9, if you are doing correct, means your practice is good, your technology is good, your technique is good. You cannot attempt all the passage because you cannot understand all the passage in the exam. Right. So next time giving you, that is uh, yes, Divyans Verma. पजलिंग पार्ट जो तुमको कंफ्यूज कर रहा है वही तो होता है, और क्या होता है जो परेशान कर रहा है पढ़ने वाले को पैसेज, तो एक्चुअली है नहीं वो, एक्चुअल में है नहीं, उसको एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए ऑप्शन चाहिए ना। डांस वर्मा, दिस इज वर्बल एबिलिटी, वर्डिंग अलग अलग क्वेश्चन में हो सकते हैं, ठीक है, ये मैथ्स तो है नहीं, तो लेकिन यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन, व्हाट क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग, व्हाट इज द डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. First of all, understand the question. The claims above, if true, most strongly support which of the following conclusion? Means on the basis of the things given in the argument, you have to find the conclusion. The evidence family question means this passage or argument consists of only premise. And conclusion is that, conclusion क्या होता है? It should be 100% true on the, definitely true on the basis of the premises, evidences given in the passage. Okay, now you have given answer. Now I am telling you there in the passage. Museum A will display only undamaged object of proven authenticity, right? So two things, only undamaged and proven authenticity. Museum will A will display. Doubts have been raised about the origin of a supposedly Mycenaean vase currently on display in the museum antiquity wing. तो ये जो वास है इसके ओरिजिन के बारे में डाउट है. The only way to establish the vase authenticity would be pulverize it. Pulverize मतलब ब्रेक छोटे छोटे कण में कर देना, छोटे पार्टिकल में पल्वराइज ब्रेक कर देना. Then subject the dust to spectroscopic analysis. भाई उसके ऑथेंटिसिटी को एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए ये प्रोसेस. नाउ द क्लेम above, if true, most strongly support which of the following? Okay, authentic Mycenaean bars are valuable and rare. Okay, that's why it is there in the museum. Okay, so this is not the conclusion. Not the conclusion. Why? Because this is the reason that bars is there in this. Okay, you have to find the conclusion based on these evidences. So this is not. Still, I am considering this. Museum A has been beset with question about the uh, provenance of many of the items. We don't know on the basis of this evidence. D. The vase in question will no longer be displayed in Museum A. Okay, that is based on this first one line. Museum A will display only undamaged object of proven authenticity. Doubts have been raised about. जैसे ही डाउट हुआ वो डिस्प्ले में नहीं होगा. Okay, C could be the answer. A spectroscopic analysis has revolutionized. We don't know whether it has revolutionized or not. Not the answer. Now tell me, out of A and C, what is the answer? What is the answer? Obviously, C is the answer. This is 100% correct. Not there. Means Museum A will display only undamaged object of proven authenticity. Doubts have been raised about the origin of supposedly Mycenaean was currently on display. जैसे ही डाउट होगा हटा देगा वहां से, तो ऑथेंटिसिटी के लिए भेजेगा. So C is the right answer. The vase in question will no longer be displayed in Museum A. This is the conclusion. So C is the right answer. C is the right answer. You have to do like this. To do like. देख रहे होगे जब तक तुम्हें आर्गुमेंट समझ में नहीं आता आंसर नहीं कर पाते. इसलिए मैं बोलता हूँ कि यू कैनॉट अटेम्प्ट ऑल द क्वेश्चन इन एग्जाम. देयर आर 25-26 क्वेश्चन, 22-23 passage, 21 passage. You can attempt around 15 if you have practiced hard and you know the technique to solve such questions. Next, again the question of conclusion. Again, this is the question of conclusion. There is a difference between inference and conclusion. Told you yesterday. Inference is probable thing. Conclusion is 100% correct based on the given evidence. Take some time to solve. Don't be in a hurry. So there is a difference between inference and conclusion. रीता निषाद ओपन हो जाएगा आज। भी कल क्लास नहीं देखी हो, लाइव में नहीं थी, व्यस्त थे काफी। हम्म, I am seeing your answer. Okay, okay. See, now I am telling you the answer. What is the question? The statement above, if true, best support which of the following conclusion? Question of conclusion, evidence family passage, evidence family question basically. So, this argument consists of only evidences or premises. The argument, the average fuel efficiency of vehicle sold nationwide during the period 2000 to 2004 was 25 miles per gallon. The corresponding figure during the period 95-99 was 20 miles per gallon. So here I am writing 95 to 99 and then 2000 to 2004 mileage, mileage, right? Uh, Mileage means average, average 20 to 25, right? Okay. Now, the national average price of gasoline during the period 2000 2004 was dollar two per gallon. Price dollar two per gallon. The corresponding figure during the 95-99 was 1.60. per gallon. Okay. Now that is the information given in the passage. Now A, the average fuel efficiency of vehicle sold nationwide should reach 30 mile per gallon for the period 2005 to 2009. How can you conclude this? भाई माइलेज 2005 से 9 में 30 हो जाएगा. We cannot say this based on only this. You cannot say this. Might be 2005 9 में cheaper ही हो गया, सस्ता हो गया. ऐसा नहीं कह सकते. So this is not there. B, rising gasoline price led consumer to purchase more fuel efficient car. Might be true. You can infer, but you cannot conclude. इसके लिए more fuel efficient car खरीदने के लिए तो कोई evidence नहीं है. No evidence in the passage. So would be inference, not conclusion. Between the two described time periods, the national average fuel efficiency and the national average gasoline price both increased at roughly the same rate. Yes, that is there. 20 to 25, there is increase of 25%. And 1.60 to 2, there is increase of 25%. So in the both period, the described period, mileage has increased by 5%. Price has also increased by 25%. So roughly the same rate they have increased, exactly the same rate. So you can conclude C is 100% correct based on the given premises, evidences. D, consumer has spent more money on gasoline during the period is than during this. Price बढ़ गया, तुम्हें consumption पता है कि expenditure तुमको पता चल गया. No, you cannot conclude this. You know the price has increased, you don't know the consumption. Might be consumption has decreased. Expenditure घट गया होगा. ये कहाँ से होगा? So C is the right answer. Got it? See this, how I am doing these questions. You have to pick the method. You have to pick the method. आपको ये मेथड पिक करना है. टेक्नोलॉजी पार्ट आई हैव डिस्कस स्टडी फॉर द सॉफ्ट. Now I am giving you another question. Do this. The question of weakening argument. Weaken the argument means this argument means weaken the conclusion of this. So you have to find that option which will go against the conclusion or which will go against some assumption of the passage. If the option goes against the assumption, means goes against the conclusion indirectly. I have told you yesterday, directly or indirectly, that option will be correct, which will go against conclusion directly or indirectly. Conclusion of this. Yes, Akankshadir, why not? Why not? You are doing highest level of thing. Can solve any type of problem. Because in option there is a talk of rate, then you have to calculate, na. I'm seeing your answer. I'm seeing your answer. Okay, now I'm telling you answer. See, you know what is the question? The Smith Town Theatre, which stages old play, has announced an expansion that will double its capacity along with its operating cost. The operating cost भी double हो जाएगा, capacity भी double हो जाएगा. The theatre is only slightly profitable at first. The theatre is only slightly profitable. In addition, all of the current customer live in Smithtown and the population of town is not expected to increase in the next several years. Okay. Thus, the expansion of the Smith Town Theatre will prove unprofitable. Okay. So, first sentence, if you want to know the structure of this argument, first sentence is background and last sentence is conclusion. And the rest are premises, you can say. Theatre is only slightly profitable at present. Second premise, all of the current customers live in a Smith town and population is not expected to increase in next several years in that town. So the expansion of theater will prove unprofitable. Okay. Now question, which of the following if true मतलब वो true अगर हो जाए ऑप्शन में से कोई एक would most seriously weaken the argument. Weaken the argument means weaken the conclusion. Weaken the conclusion means ऐसा तुम्हें ऑप्शन सर्च करना है तो कंक्लूजन के अगेंस्ट जाए. अगेंस्ट जाने का मतलब क्या होगा? थिएटर प्रॉफिटेबल हो. डायरेक्टली जाए कोई ऑप्शन या इनडायरेक्टली. देखो, A. A large movie chain plans to open a new multiplex location in Smith Town later this year. If there is another new movie chain is there in the theaters, obviously there is more competition, right? So somehow it, it is supporting this conclusion. So this is not the answer. Concession sale in Smithtown had comprised a substantial portion of the theatre revenue. मतलब थिएटर में ज़्यादा ज़्यादा कॉन्सेशन सेल ही होता है. तो कहीं न कहीं ये वाला चीज़ सपोर्ट ही करता है. ज़्यादा कॉन्सेशन अगर बैंड भी कर देगा, कॉन्सेशन सेल और बढ़ जाएगा. बी मोर. तो somehow this B option is also supporting this conclusion. It is not the answer. Many recent arrival to Smithtown are students that are less likely to attend the Smithtown theatre than are older residents. अब जो नए अराइवल हैं स्टूडेंट्स हैं यंग एज के स्मिथ टाउन थिएटर का जो कस्टमर है वो बेसिकली क्या है ओल्ड कस्टमर. ओल्ड प्ले कौन देखेगा? ओल्ड कस्टमर है. तो ही इज नॉट देयर. कहीं ना कहीं ये सपोर्ट ही कर रहा है. सपोर्टिंग दिस कंक्लूजन. सो ऑब्वियसली डी इज द आंसर. देखो ऑप्शन में वो आंसर कभी नहीं होगा जो सपोर्ट कर रहा होगा या जो कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा होगा. ऐसे हो सकता है ना कि एक ऑप्शन है भाई कनेक्टेड ही नहीं है, कुछ भी आउट ऑफ स्कोप है तो ऐसे कट जाएगा. या इसको सपोर्ट कर रहा है, हमें वीकेंड करने वाला मतलब अगेंस्ट ऐसा ऑप्शन सर्च करना है जो इसको मतलब इसके अगेंस्ट मतलब प्रॉफिटेबल हो जाती है. डी ऑप्शन, द एक्सपेंशन वुड अलाउ द थिएटर टू स्टेज लार्जर मोर पॉपुलर शो that will attract customer from neighboring towns. इसलिए कस्टमर बढ़ेंगे तो प्रॉफिटेबल होगा थिएटर. बिकॉज अभी तक तो इसमें टाउन का ही लोग देख रहा है. कस्टमर बाहर के भी आ जाएंगे नेबरिंग टाउन्स में. सो द थिएटर विल बिकम प्रॉफिटेबल. गोज अगेंस्ट दिस कंक्लूजन डायरेक्टली. तो इट इज सीरियसली वीकनिंग द आर्गुमेंट. राइट. तो आंसर इज डी. आंसर इज डी. वीकेंड बोल रहा था, वीकेंड ही तो कर रहा है. ये क्या कर रहा है? ये कंक्लूजन है आर्गुमेंट. भाई स्मिथ टाउन थिएटर अनप्रॉफिटेबल होगा. तुम्हें ऐसा ऑप्शन सर्च करना कि इसका वीकेंड करे मतलब अनप्रॉफिटेबल का जस्ट नेगेटिव को सपोर्ट मतलब प्रॉफिटेबल हो जाए तो सपोर्ट करे. ओके. सो आई होप गॉट दिस. क्लियर. ओके. नाउ आई एम गिविंग यू क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द PYQ PBS. Do this question. This has been asked in 2015. Try this. Which of one of the following statement is least essential as a part of the argument in the above passage. So out of these four options, three are could be the part of this argument, but one cannot be the part of this. You have to find that option. अभी समझने की कोशिश आकांक्षा दी अगर नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो तुम्हें पैसेज समझ आर्गुमेंट समझ में नहीं ओके टेक सम टाइम टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस फिर मैं तो बताऊंगा ही स्पेशली पोल साइंस वाले बच्चे इसको समझ सकते हैं पोल साइंस पबैड these people can understand this argument और जिसने पॉलिटी पढ़ लिया है means they can understand that's why I tell you na you cannot understand all the part okay Akansha did wait I am seeing your answer I am seeing your answer okay now I am telling you answer to know the question which one of the following statement is least essential as a part of the argument in the above passage means में से तीन option could be the part of the argument but one option that is fourth one could not be the part that you have to find that you have to find so first I have seen this question okay and what we have to do in the option I have told you second step and third step first we have now the first step that is we will know the argument a structure of the argument what is this human history abounds with claims and theory confining the confining the right of governing to a few select citizen मतलब ये है कि जो हिस्ट्री है ह्यूमंस का तो बहुत सारे क्लेम्स है थेरी है जो बताता है ये कुछ ही लोग गवर्न कर सकते some people have right to govern right over others तो सपोर्ट में बहुत सारे थ्योरी है, क्लेम है। एक्सक्लूजन ऑफ द मेनी जस्टिफाइड on the ground that human beings may be rightfully segregated. Segregated मतलब अलग अलग कर दिया गया, गवर्न करने वाले, गवर्न होने वाले, राइट, फॉर द गुड ऑफ सोसाइटी एंड वायबिलिटी ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस। लोगों को अलग अलग ग्रुप में डाल दिया, सेग्रीगेट कर दिया गया, फॉर व्हाट, फॉर गुड ऑफ सोसाइटी, सोसाइटी में कुछ अच्छा होने के लिए, एंड पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस को वायबल होने के लिए रूल कर सकते हैं, बाकी रूल हो सकते हैं। उसके लिए बहुत सारे थ्योरी एंड क्लेम हिस्ट्री। नाउ पार्ट ऑफ दिस, out of these four options, which option cannot be part of this argument? So you have to find. So out of four options, three could be part. Man seeks control over external things affecting him. Might be true in the real world, but could be this part of the argument above? The answer is no. So it could be answer. Now see B. In society, there are super and subhuman beings. Super here means those who govern. Sub means here those who are governed. So it could be part of the argument above. So B cannot be the answer. Exception to universal citizen participation are conducive to systematic efficacy. It could be part of the argument. भाई सब लोग पार्टिसिपेट करें गवर्निंग में, उसका एक्सेप्शन, ठीक है, ये कंड्यूसिव होता है सिस्टम के एफिशिएंटली रन करने के, तो कैन बी पार्ट ऑफ द आर्गुमेंट अबव। डी, गवर्निंग implies cognition of disparities in individual capacity. Obviously it could be part of this because सब लोग गवर्न नहीं कर सकते हैं, this could be the part of this argument. So this is not the answer. So what is the answer? A. A is the right answer. A is the right answer. This type of question they ask. अब जब तक आपको ये समझ में नहीं आएगा, साथ में ऑप्शन समझ में नहीं आएगा, you cannot answer this. अगर नहीं समझ में आए तो लीव दिस क्वेश्चन इन एग्जाम, लीव सिमिलर क्वेश्चन, डोंट अटेम्प्ट, गलत ही होगा। अंडरस्टूड? अंडरस्टूड? Okay. Next question I am giving you, that is, see this question. Critical inference. Critical means most important. Most important. Inference, you know. So this is evidence family question. So this passage consists of only evidences. Do this question. Take some time. Don't be in a hurry. शुरुआत में थोड़ा समय लगता है। This is the easier one. This is easy question. Anyone can understand this passage. जो यूपीएससी का प्रिपरेशन किया है, they can understand this. I want all of you to answer. Want all of you. Okay, now I am telling you the answer. See, you know what they are asking. Most important inference based on this uh, argument, or you can say this passage. So evidence family question means this is evidence family question. I have told you yesterday. Means this passage consists of only premises. Now see, India accounts for nearly a fifth of the world child death. In terms of number, it is the highest in the world, nearly 16 lakh every year. Of these, more than half die in the first month of life. Officials believe that reason for this is the absence of steps propagate basic health practices relating to breastfeeding, immunization, right? Official feel that this may be the reason. Oh, and absence of a step to propagate basic health practices, right? So there is a problem of propagation. Official believe that reason for this problem. Okay. Next, also the large reproductive population of 2.6 crore remains bereft of care during the critical phases of pregnancy and post delivery. Okay, another reason, another reason for the so much child death. Added to this is the prevalence of marriages, child marriages, anemia among young women, and lack of focus on adolescent sanitation, all of which impact child death rate. So reasons they have written, reasons is there in passage. Uh, Propagation is not there for basic health practices, immunization problem, then reproductive population, problem of care during the critical phase of pregnancy and post delivery, and then problem of child marriages, anemia, lack of adolescent sanitation, all of which impact child age. Okay, these are the evidences given. Now, which is the critical inference that can be made from the above passage? So you have to make the inference based on the things given. Okay, a lot of Indians are illiterate and hence do not recognize the value of basic health practices. Might be true in the real situation, but on the basis of this argument, you cannot infer this. So this is not there. India has a very huge population and the government alone cannot manage. On the basis of this, we cannot infer this. The government cannot manage. How you can infer on the basis of this? No. C. Universalization means for all. Universalization means for all. And integration of maternal health, मतलब mother का health, and child health services can effectively address the problem. Problem of what? Child death rate. Would be the answer. D. The D. All the option. The nutrition of women in childbearing age does not affect. No affect. That is the reason. Reason given. So this is not the answer. So answer is D. D is the right. Reference का question है. Reference and conclusion more or less similar, but some difference is there. I have told you yesterday. Inference is probable conclusion. Conclusion is definite thing. Inference like conclusion is probable thing. Got this? Got this? Am I clear? कि आपको इतना है कि कैसे सॉल्व करते हैं, कैसे सॉल्व कर. आई हैव टोल्ड यू दिस इज एग्जैक्ट साइंस, बट यू कैनॉट आंसर द क्वेश्चन जब तक तुम्हें पैसे समझ में नहीं आए. ध्यान रखना. और क्वेश्चन ये बड़े ही ट्रिकी होते हैं, बड़े ट्रिकी होते हैं, ये ध्यान रखना. That's why I'm telling you, you have practiced a lot, you understand the things, then out of 10, 8 and 9 will be correct. And this is somehow subjective things. Subjective है ना ये. किसी को आंसर ये भी सही लग रहा होगा, किसी को ये भी लग रहा होगा, यूपीएससी को कुछ और ही लग रहा होगा. But you can do your best. Okay, now try this question. Now here question is, I'm giving you a hint, with reference to above passage, which of the following is the most valid assumption with reference to the passage? Tell me assumption. What is the assumption there in the passage? Right? And see the option. So the following is the most valid assumption based on this passage. Based on this passage, which is the most valid assumption? Means you can say here what has been assumed in the passage by the author. By the author. अरे मैंने बता दिया कंफ्यूजन क्या है इसमें. देखो मैं क्या बोल सकता हूँ. What is the confusion? I've explained everything. प्रॉब्लम इज दैट बहुत लोगों को रीडिंग स्किल नहीं है, समझ ही नहीं पाते पढ़ के. उनको ऑप्शन समझ में आता है ना उनको पैसे समझ. कैसे सॉल्व करो? You people are from English medium, still you people are not able to understand the passage. I'm not telling you can understand all the passage, but at least 6, 7 out of 10 passage you have to understand. You have to understand the option. I've given you every technology yesterday, but समझने का चीज मैं कैसे तुम्हें बताऊं? It depends on your reading skill, vocabulary, and till now what you have studied, what you have read. अंग्रेजी आती है कि नहीं ये भी तो डिपेंड करता है. दिस इज ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन, टेक सम टाइम टू आंसर, नहीं तो गलत ही करोगे. गलत होने का चांस 99% है, बता दूं मैं. It has been asked in exam. See the way they are asking question and the way you prepare. Anchadir, that's the beauty of UPS. Okay, now I am telling you the answer. So if you have tried, देखिए आरजी इतना पढ़ाया गया पढ़ लिए, उसी से पास कर जाओगे, बाकी करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है। तो पढ़ा दिया जाएगा, इसी महीने पढ़ा दिया जाएगा। तो बस चैट में आके कुछ भी लिख देते हैं, क्या बोला जाए। ऑनलाइन का तो यही ब्यूटी है। Okay, now I am telling you the answer. Uh, what is the argument? Many people in India feel that if we cut our defense expenditure on weapon building, we can create a climate of peace with our neighbors, subsequently reducing the conflict or creating a no war situation. Many people in India feel like. Now, next line is very important. People who proclaim such idea are either the victim of war or the propagator of false art. Right? तो ये बात बोलते हैं कि इंडिया कट करे डिफेंस एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन वीपन, पीस होगा नेवर से और कन्फ्लिक्ट रिड्यूस होगा नो वार सिचुएशन। बट ये लोग कौन हैं? ये लोग वही हैं जो विक्टिम ऑफ वॉर है या फॉल्स आर्गुमेंट पेश कर रहे हैं, प्रोपोगेट कर रहे हैं। इसका मतलब एजम्पशन ये है कि वी शुड स्पेंड ऑन वीपन बिल्डिंग, राइट, स्पेंड मोर ऑन वीपन बिल्डिंग, दैट इज द एजम्पशन हियर। ये थोड़ा अदर वे सोच के समझना पड़ेगा। एंड नाउ सी, building a weapon system by us has instigated our neighbor to wage war again. No, this is not assumed there. This cannot be assumed. Not the assumption. B. The greater spending on weapon building by us would lessen the possibility of armed conflict with our neighbor. This could be the answer. See, it is necessary to have a state of what a weapon system for necessary is not uh, necessary word is what it cannot be in the assumption, because I have told you yesterday assumption is probable thing. So on the basis of this word itself, it is rejected. D. Many people in India believe that we are wasting our resources on weapon building. It's already written. Assumption is not written. Assumption is hidden thing. Obviously, B is the right answer. So B is the right answer. B is the right answer. KKRG, society, social justice, ethics, these are not asked in prelims exam. They are asked in mains exam. As far as Indian geography is concerned, it is asked in. Right, so this is the answer. Now I am giving you question. This one. Do this. Here, just I am giving you hint with reference to the above passage. Which of the following statement is or are? Two statement are here. Statement true कौन सा होगा? जो assumption हो जाए, inference हो जाए, conclusion हो जाए, वो सब true होते हैं. ठीक है, तो तुम्हें देखना है फर्स्ट सेकंड के बारे में, whether it is assumption the passage or it is inference or it is implication or it is conclusion, वही true होता है. Now try this. व्यांश वर्मा जी, I have told you. ये क्या था? ओहो, a lot of India. This one, building of aware system by us has instigated. ये किधर तुमको assumption दिख रहा है यहाँ पर? Instigated. It is justified in assumption. Wage war against us. Too much of assumption. कहाँ है? इधर है ये. How you will justify instigate to wage war against us? How you can justify? You have to justify everything, every word of the option on the basis of the passage given. दिव्यांश वर्मा. रजत, सचिन सर कब तक आएंगे? तो मुझे क्या पता भाई, I don't know. I am here in studio. I know about myself. I have not met him even for last 6 months. How will you know? Call help, call call support and ask. Suraj Kumar, how sir? How? I have explained. Okay, most of you have given answer, and two people are giving different answer. Different answer. Question is, See, I have told you statement based question, and you have to tell on the basis of the passage is true. One or two or both or not, like that. कोई भी स्टेटमेंट ट्रू तभी होगा जब वो एजुकेशन हो जाए, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ पैसेज हम इन्फर कर पाए ना, कंक्लूजन हो जाए, तभी ट्रू होगा, अदरवाइज नहीं होगा. ओके. एंड सी, फूड ट्रेवल मोर देन द पीपल हु ईट देम. ओके. Grocery store and supermarket are loaded with preserved and processed food. Okay? This, however, often leads to environmental threats such as pollution generated by long distance food transportation, wastage of food during processing and transportation, destruction of rainforest. Hope you understand rainforest, reduced nutritional content, increased demand for preservation and packaging. So, environmental threat, and we are the example. Food insecurity also increases as the produce comes from regions that are not feeding their own population. जिस रीजन से वो फूड आ रहा है वो बैकवर्ड रीजन है, वहाँ वो अपने आप को ही नहीं खिला पा रहा है, वहाँ पे ऑब्वियसली वहाँ का फूड बाहर चला आया, मेट्रो सिटी में आ गया, वहाँ पे फूड इनसिक्योरिटी डेवलप कर सकते. ये है. ओके. नाउ, first, consuming regionally grown food and not depending on long travel food, a part of eco-friendly behavior. Yes, it can be inferred from the passage above. Second, food processing industry puts a burden on our natural resources. Yes, yes, because processing leads to wastage. Wastage means burden on natural resources, right? So this can also be inferred from above. So answer is C, both 1 and 2. Both 1 and 2. Answer is C, both 1 and 2. Is C not C? This is C, both 1 and 2. ये नहीं है. Okay. Now the next question is next question is uh, this question. See the question. Question is this: which among the following is the most logical and rational? Logical and rational means unbiased, 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 unbiased assumption that can be made from the above passage. मतलब क्या एज्यूम किया जा सकता है, क्या अनुमान लगा सकते हैं, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द, क्या इन्फर कर सकते हैं. यहाँ पर लॉजिकल एंड रेशनल दैट कैन बी मेड बाय द ऑथर, that can be made from the above passage, right? So what you can infer, what you can assume, the reader can assume by seeing the above passage. Now go through the passage. आकांक्षा धीर, पहले अंग्रेजी पढ़ो ठीक से और समझो क्या लिखा रहता है. वर्क ऑन योर रीडिंग स्किल. वहां पे दिया है भाई नेचुरल प्रोसेसिंग होगा तो वेस्टेज होगा. वेस्ट और रिसोर्स कहाँ से आता है? नेचर से आता है. वेस्टेज करोगे तो कहीं ना कहीं नेचर को ही तो ज्यादा डिप्लीट करोगे, मतलब ज्यादा वेस्ट करोगे. क्या करो? फूड कहाँ से आएगा? नेचर से ही आएगा ना. वेस्ट करोगे तो क्या होगा? कहीं न कहीं नेचर को ज़्यादा यूज़ करोगे. नेचर पे ही प्रेशर पड़ेगा, नेचुरल चीज पे प्रेशर पड़ेगा। वेट, वेट हमेशा। I'm seeing your answer and different type of options are. Again, you can see this. This is the passage, and this is the option. See, Irfat, you have to attempt around 45 questions in 120 minutes. So you can see around 2.5 to 3 minutes you have to solve a question. So if one passage, one question, you have 2.5 to 3 minutes. Solve that. कितने क्वेश्चन पैसेज में हैं उतना into 2.5 on an average minute. If one question is there based on a passage, you have only 2.5 minutes to solve that. You have to go through the passage and you have to go through the options and you have to answer. That much fast you have to be. Okay, now I am telling you the answer. Question is, which among the following is the most logical and rational, means unbiased assumption that can be made from the above passage? Still, I am giving you 30 seconds. 30 seconds to solve. Still, I am giving you. Okay, now, so you have to find that option which can be inferred, you can say. In loose sense, you can say inferred from the above passage. Okay. See, the richer state have a responsibility to cut down carbon emission and promote clean energy investment. The richer state have a responsibility. Why they have responsibility? Because these are the state that got electricity, right, grew faster and now have high per capita income, making them capable of sharing India's burden of becoming co-friendly. Okay. So why they have responsibility? That is the reason. One example is given, that is Delhi, for example, can help by generating its own clean electricity using solar rooftop panel, or even help poor states finance their clean energy project. दिल्ली का एग्जाम्पल दिया कि भाई क्लीन एनर्जी खुद ही प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है, सोलर रूफटॉप पैनल लगा के वहाँ के लोग, एंड पुअर स्टेट जो है उनके क्लीन एनर्जी प्रोजेक्ट को फाइनेंस भी कर सकता है, बिकॉज दिल्ली इज अ रिच स्टेट. इट इज नो सीक्रेट दैट state electricity boards, which control 95% of the distribution network, electricity distribution, are neck deep in losses. They are in losses. These losses further discourage state firm, state utility means firm, state companies from adopting renewable energy as it is more expensive than fossil fuels. Right? This is written here. This is written here. बताया ये है कि टीचर स्टेट का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है भाई रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करे, साथ में पूरे स्टेट को फाइनेंस करे उसके प्रोजेक्ट को. तो रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी है प्रोजेक्ट को, बिकॉज इंडिया को अगर इको फ्रेंडली बनना है तो स्टेट टेक द लीड, बिकॉज स्टेट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और स्टेट यूटिलिटी कैन नॉट take the new step because they don't have finance. So that's why they are forced to depend on fossil. That is written. Now, what you can infer, you assume, the reader can assume, can infer from the unbiased, from the above passage. Richer state must lead the production and adoption of renewable energy. Okay, this could be the answer. Now you can see the next one. The poor state always have to depend. Always have to depend. No, they can undertake their own project if richer state can finance their project. No, this cannot be inferred or cannot be assumed. The state actually can improve their finances by undertaking classic. How they will undertake clean energy? They don't have finance. To undertake clean energy, they have to depend on richer state. No, this cannot be inferred. The high economic disparity between the rich and poor is the major cause of high carbon. How we can infer this? This is the major cause. There could be another cause. So A is the right answer. A is the right answer. A is the right answer. Still, you can go through the passage. Still, you can go through the passage and you can. Right? I hope you people have now understood how thought passages are attempted. What are the techniques have to keep in mind while attempting the question. Right? मैथ से भी ज़्यादा टफ है। पढ़ने पे तो करे बच्चा अभी तक पढ़ता नहीं है, उनको पैसेज ही सबसे आसान लगता है बिना कभी अटेम्प्ट ही नहीं लिया है क्वेश्चन को, वो पहले से मान के चलता है वो तो 10th जैसा ही है। 10th जैसा नहीं है, रियली डिफिकल्ट। जब तक प्रैक्टिस नहीं करोगे, यू डोंट हैव टेक्नोलॉजी, डोंट हैव टेक्निक, यू कैनॉट अटेम्प्ट इट करेक्टली, राइट? एंड यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस about 100 pass. 40-50 you will do in the class, 40-50 you will do on your own, right? And we are doing short passage. After that, we'll do passage on, right? Devendra, तो मैं एक्सपोज कर रहा हूँ, एक्सपोजर दे रहा हूँ कैसे करते हैं। अरुण, प्लीज improve your reading skill. Please improve your reading. I have seen your other answers also. In your chat earlier also, I have not responded. In your other answers, you improve your reading skill and go through the last video again and again. Divyansh Verma, no issue. After practicing, you can attempt the right. So it should be unbiased. So if Richard Estate will hear more, right, according to A option. Unbiased किसका? Unbiased तुम्हारा, रीडर को। रीडर को अनबायस्ड एज्यूम करना था, कहीं से अब डायरेक्शन लेके नहीं। रीडर को जो पढ़ा पैसेज को, कुछ ज्यादा ही तुम पढ़ लिया अनबायस्ड। Yes, Bhanu, why not? Harshita, this is comfortable. This class is comfortable situation. In exam, you will do less than 7 in the 10th situation. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all of my class today. I will continue this tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Right. And those who have not attended the last class, please go through that class again and again. Thank you. Have a good day.